Nas got a grip on me. I don't like the situation, that's fine. Again, double pistol grip on the inside, break away, and I'm gonna establish a same side grip on the inside of his collar here, okay? My hand's on the outside of his hand, and my hand's on the inside of his collar here. We're gonna hit a collar drag today, every white belt's favorite takedown. Couple things have to happen at the same time. I'm bringing my elbow past my body. As I turn my body, throw this arm overhead and baseball slide in between his legs. Lot to go over, I'm gonna break it down, okay? Again, basically all I'm doing with my right arm is I'm turning my body and making him come past me like this, okay? I don't wanna extend him away from here, that's a lot of effort, right? If I told you to pull something strong, your strongest pull's here, it's not out here. You're gonna do the same thing. And again, I'm not just pulling with the arm, I'm gonna turn my body, make it nice and easy, okay? At the same time, my left arm's going overhead, here. You can also go under, there's nothing wrong with that. So you do whatever you want to do. I like overhead because it's harder for him to keep his balance, okay? Here, that's what my upper body looks like. At the same time, my right leg is baseball sliding through, okay? So boom, as I turn and throw. Here, okay? This is one of the situations we're gonna deal with. He didn't quite fall on his side. I'm keeping the collar no matter what, and from here, heavy on his collar, I build it to a base and I attack his back. You could go put the hooks in, I like to lace the hips. That's your choice, okay? Let's look at the collar drag again. We're gonna go over different scenarios of how to come up in a minute. Again, he got a grip on me, I break the grip, I establish my own grip here, okay? As I baseball slide, I turn, pull the arm, and throw my left arm overhead. I'll try and do this as slowly as possible. Here, and I'm holding on heavy with that collar on his grip, with my grip on his collar, I mean. Okay? From here, if he's on all four, I'm going to lace the hips and build a base. Here, just like we did last week, left hand on the inside of his thigh. If he loses his balance, but he doesn't fall, we're gonna come up to a single leg and stuff like that later. But I just want to get the collar drag down first. Any questions? All right, on three. 1, 2, 3. Get my opponent to fall onto a side and end up in side control. That's the ideal situation, okay? If not, let's look at one of the more likely scenarios. Again, we got the back, but I don't quite like it that much because if our opponent lands on all fours, they can build a base and start to stand up. That's what we're gonna attack. Again, keep that collar, stay heavy on the collar. So boom, I broke his grip. Here, I do the collar drag. Here, he's managed to land on all fours, especially a little bit far away from me, right? So now, naturally, he's gonna start to build a base and start to stand up, right? We don't want that. Good. Do it again. So now let's attack that. I'm gonna go for the near side and go for a single leg. Kind of modified because we have the gi. Okay? So again, broke his grip here, established my own grip. I hit the collar drag, boom. From here, whatever leg is closest, I'm gonna grab. And we're gonna stand up together. If I can prevent him from standing, even better. But let's assume worst case scenario, we stood up together. I'm gonna, if the collar's in my right hand, I'm gonna drag him to the right and then snap to my left. So I'm dragging him to the right and then I snap to the left. Here. I get a little bit of motion going this way and then I snap him towards his butt. And immediately start going into your guard pass here. Again. So again, he grabbed my collar, whatever side, right? Break the grip. Here, collar drag. We get up together. Boom. I drag him to my right, and then snap to the left. And I start to pass here. Okay? Any questions? So again, keep the collar. Get his leg. If he doesn't stand up, you're just going to dump him from right there. If you stand up together, stay tight. The collar's in my right hand. I'm going to drag to the right, snap to the left. Cool? All right, on three. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, so we got a matchup between Nas, the white belt here, and we'll call him BB for blue belt here. I don't want to give his name out on YouTube. So, start the match off. Breaks the grip, and resistance starts about here. Not bad. Let's slow it down a little bit, and let's look at what we had. A couple of mistakes there. So, gets a good grip. Gets a decent pull. I'd like to see a little bit more commitment on the pull, like make it really violent, really slide that leg through here, really, for lack of a better word, fall to your side. But again, it's not really a fall. You're really violently pulling that hand on the collar. we're trying to get our opponents all 4 limbs on the mat. Ideally, you end up in side control. It doesn't always happen, but that's the ideal situation. That's how hard you should be pulling your opponent. Here, and another thing, he doesn't throw the arm overhead. So Nas manages to get an underhook here. You don't have to throw the arm overhead. In my opinion, you get more options and you get a better pull when you throw that arm overhead when you go for the collar drag. So I encourage my white belts, or really anyone, to understand how to throw the arm overhead when you're going for the collar drag. Man tries to scramble up for a head outside single and doesn't quite get it. He could have gone for another collar drag here, but I make him reset. So he messes up the drill. Good. Breaks the grip, and resistance starts about here. That's a better pull. Good. But again, he failed to throw the arm overhead. He's not in a bad position now. Nas has, I don't want to call it an underhook, but his arm is on the inside here. Let's see if that works out for him. Let's see if that works. All right, so we're right about here. Could have stuck the hooks in here. Maybe he wasn't feeling it. All right, so he goes for the head outside single, but because he didn't throw the arm overhead, it kind of comes back to haunt us here. Nas manages to get his underhook in. So we still have the head outside single, but now we are eliminated from the option of going for the double leg. In my opinion, one of the beauties of the double leg and or the head outside single is that you could switch between the two. Here, we're no longer able to switch, so we're kind of stuck with the head outside single now. Again, not a bad option, but I would always like to have the option of going for the double leg. So, continue. Nas is doing something a little bit unorthodox by grabbing his opponent's belt. He was complaining to us that we didn't learn the head outside single leg defense, and I kindly informed him that had he showed up to class on Saturday, he would have learned exactly that, because that's exactly what we went over on Saturday. So before you blame your teachers for not learning something, make sure you're in class. Nas is trying to get around behind him, and he makes a mistake right here. I don't quite know what he was trying to do, but maybe he was trying to take his back. He stuck his heel outside of BB's heel here, and we're going to see how that doesn't quite work out for him. Boom. Gets tripped, gets dumped, and he probably should have shown up to class on Saturday. But it's all good. There's always next Saturday. Or he could go on YouTube and try and learn that way. BB gets the break. Okay, already I'm seeing a problem. Let's rewind that, because that is a crucial problem here. You cannot be hesitant when you go for this collar drag. It's all or nothing. So you're going to see BB kind of stutter step with his right foot here. He's going to kind of stop here and then continue on. No good. Hard, violent pull. Get that baseball slide. Get that collar drag. Stops right here, and then he tries to drag him down. Not great. And another thing he forgot is he forgot to throw the arm overhead. So Nas is probably going to be able to use that to make life difficult for BB. Comes up with the head inside, or his head outside single. My apologies. Tries to snap him down. Doesn't quite work. Gets back to the position. And on the second attempt, manages to run the pike and get him down. Alright, here we have Dave in the white gi and Ernest in the navy blue gi. Let's see. It looks like Dave is initiating the exchange, so he's the one drilling right now. Okay, let's rewind it because I'm seeing some problems. Gets a good grip on the collar, gets a good grip on the sleeve. However, let me slow it down a little bit here. Something I'm always telling the people I teach this to. When you pull, you need to pull violently and to the side. Already here, he's kind of pulling guard more than doing a collar drag. So again, you got to fall on your side. You got to fall on your side and pull with that arm as hard as possible. Past you. Not to the floor, past you. He's on his butt, essentially. And I don't think it's going to work out well for him. Yep. Here. Another thing. Forgot to throw the arm overhead. And Ernest managed to get an underhook here. And, I mean, he essentially just pulled guard. Yeah. That's enough of that. Let's see how he does on the next try. So, again, they reset. And it starts about here. And we see the same problem. Look. From here. Oh, man. I don't know how many times I got to say this. I know how many times I got to say this. Maybe at least one more time. look at the angle of his chest. It's pointed straight to the sky right now, which is telling me that his butt is pointing straight to the ground right now, which is telling me he's falling straight to the ground. Again, you want to fall onto your side. He should be completely, that data symbol right here, I should be facing that wall over there. That tells me he's falling to his side. Number two, let's get rid of all that. Number two, again, maybe in conjunction, maybe it's a separate problem, he failed to throw the arm overhead. So again, essentially he's just pulling like half guard right now. And it doesn't work out. Again, please, fall to your side. Fall to your side, throw that arm over. Fall to your side, throw that arm over. I'll say it till I'm blue in the face. Fall to the side, throw the arm over. Third time's a charm. That was a little bit better. Let's rewind it here a little bit. I'm seeing some problems. That was a little bit better. Look, he's falling onto his side a little bit more. The only problem I'm seeing is there's a huge amount of space between him and his opponent, and, or maybe because of, he forgot to throw the arm overhead here. He's essentially giving his opponent an underhook, and because there's so much space between him and his opponent, he doesn't really have control of the situation. Yeah, that underhook killed him. I don't know if you could see it from here, but the reason he couldn't get up is because Ernest had an underhook on him. Stop right there. Fell to his side a little bit. It could have been a little bit more violent, but again, forgot to throw the arm overhead. You're giving your opponent a built-in underhook if you don't throw the arm overhead, or at least send it towards the floor if you're going to have it in front of you. Don't put it in the holster right here like Dave did. Please. Yeah, and now we can see it at this angle. Tried to get up, couldn't, because Ernest has a nice deep underhook there. That Dave kind of gave him. All right, here we have Ernest in the navy blue gi and Chris, one of our newer white belts, in the black gi. See how this works out. Looks like Chris is the one running the drill. Okay, let's go back. He kind of fell instead of really snapping violently to the floor. Look at his right foot. It kind of lifts off the floor, and he just kind of falls to his side, hoping that his opponent will magically lose his balance and hit all fours on the ground. Yeah, it doesn't really happen. Another thing, he could have fell a little bit more to his side. Not in control of the situation. Ernest manages to get on top. It's alright, that's why we drill. Did it again. Kind of fell to his side. Again, you're not falling to the side. It's a sacrifice throw. You're violently pulling to the floor. He keeps falling. He keeps falling. I'm going to rewind that real quick. Look. His foot is completely off the ground here. Again, he's hoping and praying that the guy falls with him. Not going to happen. You need to make that as violent as possible. Remember, you're not lifting your leg off the ground like that. No, 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 no. You are sending that leg through. You are sliding as much as you can. So again, not through, you're sliding. Sliding. Or through, I should say, not up, please. Alright. So obviously it doesn't work out. Boom. That's alright, that's why we drill. So I'm giving him some tips here. Nas is over there on the side practicing. A good way to develop this feel is to really do a lot of side break falls. Again, he's just trying to kind of fall to the ground. Again, if you're having trouble getting that violent pull, an exercise I can't recommend enough. That was a little bit better, but then he did something weird with his foot. Let's go back and look at that. Slow it down a little bit. Gets a good grip. Should have a good grip. He's starting with it. Okay, so he starts out pretty well, but then look at what he does with his right foot again. I think he's concentrating a little bit too much on the upper body here. Again, it looks like he failed to throw the arm overhead to that. I'm noticing that's a running theme. Keep an eye on his right foot. Kind of lifts off the ground. And look, he falls. At the end of the day, he falls flat on his back. should be on his side, and he shouldn't be lifting that right foot up. All right, we got our good friend Ernest here in the navy blue gi and Nas in the regular royal blue gi. Let's see how this works out. Pretty good pull, not bad. Let's go back and look at the first part of that. Right here, he could have fell a little bit more to his side, and again, he failed to throw that arm overhead. I must be a horrible teacher because I'm noticing all my students make the same mistake. I'd like him, more important than that, I'd like him to be a little bit more to the side. Again, you don't have to throw the arm overhead, but if you're going to throw it to the floor like he just did, you definitely got to be on your side. His chest should be completely facing the other way right now. Creates a scramble, comes up into a front headlock, and I make him reset. That wasn't bad. Nas kind of anticipated a little bit and made an angle. I think Ernest did a good job here. He's pretty much on his side here. Arm didn't go over, but maybe he made the choice to throw to send the arm to the floor instead. Again, not a bad option. He's in a decent position from here because he's on his side so much. So I'd like to see how the rest of this round plays out. Manages to get up and get to his back and secures at least one hook. I would count that as half a win. Didn't quite secure position, but he had an opportunity to. A little bit of polish on that won't be too bad. All right, let's go back and look at that. The momentum kind of died a little bit. Again, when you make that commitment, commit 100%. And again, did not throw the arm overhead. Maybe I'm assuming that's a conscious decision at this point. Manages to get head outside single and finishes the head outside single. And once again, Nas is probably going to complain that he didn't learn the defense, and I'm going to let him know that he probably should have been to class on Saturday.